Dapper Dan, this a Tory king. Fashion flows where your senses swing. Patterns pop, your styles command. The world's in awe of Dapper Dan. Hustle roots to the heights you flew. You made old styles feel fresh and new. A rebel's edge and a classic plan. Forever sharp, yeah, Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan, this a Tory king. Fashion flows where your senses swing. Patterns pop, your styles command. The world's in awe of Dapper Dan.
What up? What up? It is the first episode to my new show, which is called Dapper Danny Presents, and it's the tips, guidance, and direction to wearing a suit. Now, before we get started, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not an expert. There's a lot of what I'm telling you now is things that I've learned over my 54 years here on this planet. Some things I've done in the past for as dress that didn't work. Some things I've learned, some things I evolved to. But what I like and what I'm going to tell you and talk about may not be something that you like. So you got to be able to find and pick and choose from different things and then find your particular style, what makes you happy. What I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to tell you about is some rules that I've learned that are tried and true that I believe they are. And then some things that I add to it, and then some things that I take away from it. The first thing I want to talk about is making a first impression. Now, to me, like I said, I'm 54 years old. Whenever I go to an interview, or in the past, or whenever there is a time where I have to interview people for the profession that I work in, I always try to dress my best. And I expect those individuals to come to dress like they really want the job. And in my mind, like I'm saying, in my mind, there's a shirt and tie at the very least. But I'm expecting a suit, a nice suit. I want to encourage you, rule one for everybody, every man that's watching this show. And if you're a father or if you're a son and you have a son, or if you are trying to impress somebody as far as getting a job, going to a job interview, going to a college interview, going somewhere to try to get a job, somewhere to try to get employment, I urge you, I can't stress enough, you have only one opportunity to make a first impression. You have one opportunity to make a first impression. Let me say it for a third time. You only have one opportunity to make a first impression. So make sure that first impression is the best you can possibly be. Now, briefly, I'm going to talk about three different kind of styles as it pertains to suits. Three different kind of styles as it pertains to suits. The first one is a bespoke. The second one is made to measure. And the third one is OTR, which is off the rack. Bespoke. Bespoke is if you're in the higher, in my opinion, from my experience, if you're in the higher echelon, you making, let's say, excess of $200,000 a year, you can get a bespoke suit. And a bespoke suit is basically when you go to the tailor and you pick out the material, the cut, the cuff, the length, how it fits, the drape, every aspect of it you have input in it. And this particular tailor that's making your suit will make it to your specifications. That suit will only fit you, and it would be perfect from head to toe. Now, the cheapest bespoke suit that I've seen out there is roughly about $2,500 starting off, somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500. Most people that I know, and myself included, I can't afford a $2,500 suit. It makes no sense for me to make a $2,500 suit because that's more than two of my house payments. To tell you, let that sink in. Not to mention, I got a full family. I'm not in a profession where I need to wear a suit every day, but I also like to dress nice. So bespoke is the high end of the spectrum. There are several people out there that have bespoke suits. One in particular, a channel that I watch is called Ask Oki. He used to be a banker, and now he is into the fashion. And if you watch his channel, please subscribe to it. He gives you a lot of good tips. He believes in the classic dress, and he believes in the drape. If you watch his clothes, they are impeccable. They are smooth. I often try and find different pieces like his and then try to emulate it, but not at that price. He goes to all over the country, all over the world, and gets particular material and makes his suits, which are exquisite. They are fantastic. It's something that I wish that I could aspire one day to be, but realistically speaking, I'll probably never be able to afford the suits and as many suits and as many odd jackets and odd pants that he has. But if you go in there and watch, it's called Ask Oki, AskOkey, Ask Oki. I think he's Nigerian or something, very well spoken. His channel is fantastic. It's one of the many channels that I follow. Also, I'm starting to follow a second individual. He's from New York. His name is Vladimir Ritchie. I'm not sure what his profession is, but the cat, he dresses really nice and he gives you a lot of tips, a lot of free information he gives you also. So check out those two channels in particular. I watch a lot more, but it's Rampley and Company, Rampley and Company. They over in England. I can't think of the guy. I think his name is Chris. That really does a presentation. But I watch a lot of different men's channels, get different ideas, get put different things together. Now get back to it. But Stoke is the first suit. The next suit is MTM, made to measure. Those suits are like you can send in you measure yourself at home or wherever, and then you send the measurements to the tailor, and then they make it by your measurements. Now, I do know that Men's Warehouse has a made to measure program. And last time I checked, and don't quote me on this, you can get a suit made to measure starting at $400. That's not a bad deal. I know I went to a Men's Warehouse several years ago, and in that particular program, you can pick out the material clothes made out of, the lining inside of your suit, whether you want it straight cuff, whether you want it pleated or non-pleated, um, whether you want peak lapels or notch lapels. He has some say so in it. But I know it's starting off, based on what I read, a made to measure suit, and that program starts off at about $400. So if it's $400 with some tax, maybe $500, then maybe that's something you can do depending on your disposable income. Whether or not you can do that or not, that just depends on your finances. And the last is mainly what I shop. That's off the rack. Go to these certain stores. And I live here in South Carolina. My main store that I shop at is something called Mayo's Discount Suit. And usually suits range somewhere between 150 $300, depending on the different sales that they have. And what I try to do is make sure I got a tailor. I got a couple of tailors that I use. And they can kind of get the suit not bespoke, but they can get it close to what I can wear. And I always try to make sure that I get my colors matching or get something. Use some of the rules that ASCO Key and some of these higher echelon content creators talking about. I try to use uh, some of those same lessons, some of those same rules, and apply it to my level of dressing. I've been commenting several times that I'm a good dresser. I think I am a good dresser, but I always try to look and try different things. One of the things that I'm transitioning from when I used to be when I was a younger man, I used to love to have flamboyant ties, just really flashy ties. And I was into the paisley ties mainly. Now I'm kind of getting away from that. I'm into more of the solid color ties, some of the polka dots, depending on what size the polka dots are. But I'm really kind of into the solid ties or the ties that are very kind of simple because I'm kind of leaning more towards the classically dressed. One thing I learned is that you cannot get into a suit buying that is going to be just fad. Stay away from fad suits. Stay away from fad suits. Stay away from fad clothes. I remember, I'm telling my age now, cross colors came out years ago. I don't think maybe 20 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. And I bought all kind of cross color gear. And about 2 years later, cross color was a thing in the past. I had a closet full of cross color stuff and nobody wear it. Same thing can happen with you with your suits. Steve Harvey, there is a video out there with Steve Harvey. You know who he is, a famous comedian. He hosts. He has his own TV show. He has his own radio show, and he hosts Family Feud. He has a video, and I've tried to do that. That if you watch any of my channel, I've tried to do that challenge. It's called the Steve Harvey 5 Suit Challenge, and basically he's saying that every man needs 5 different color suits. Every man needs a brown suit, a gray suit, a navy suit, a black suit, and a cream color suit. Now, I disagree with that. But if you want to get that, it will give you several options. But what I'm going to say is every man does not need a black suit. I used to thought that black suits were it, but you don't really need a black suit unless it's the occasion calls for it. And we get a little bit deeper in that as I do more videos. But there are 2 suits that if you're starting off, if you don't have a suit in your closet and you're a man, there are 2 suits that you need to get, one or the other, but definitely try to get both of them. The first suit is a navy suit, and the second suit is a gray suit. I recommend a charcoal gray and a dark navy suit or mid navy because you get too dark, and sometimes that limits your options. But let's say you get the mid color suit, the mid navy, and the charcoal. Those are the first two suits you get. It's very hard for a man to look bad in a properly fitted navy suit and a gray suit. They're very versatile. They're intermatchable. If you get a gray suit, a navy suit, you can wear the gray jacket with the navy slacks. You can wear the navy jacket with the gray slacks. Vice versa. You can switch them up. But let's say, for instance, that you only have money to buy a navy suit. I would recommend getting a navy suit because within you can go and get some khaki slacks. You can get some gray slacks, and you can pair that and change it up. You can also get a white shirt. You can get a light blue shirt, and you can get a pink shirt. Yeah, you can get a white shirt, blue shirt, and a pink shirt, and you can have several different options with that navy suit with the gray slacks and the khaki slacks. Also, if you only got money for one tie, I suggest a navy tie. And let me show you a picture where three different people are wearing a navy tie, and this shows you just how versatile a navy tie is. If you're looking over here, this is a picture on first take. This is Stephen A. Smith on the far left. I can't think of the guy in the middle, and Mad Dog Russo on the right. All three gentlemen are wearing a navy tie. As you can see, Stephen A. has on the peak lapel suit, coat. You have on a blue striped jacket. A blue striped shirt, and he has on a navy tie. In the middle, I think his name is Wendy. His nickname is Wendy. Michael Windhorse, I think his name is. Looks to me like he has on a black suit, a white shirt, and a navy tie. And you see Mad Dog Russo on the right. He has on a rose-colored jacket, a white shirt, and a navy tie. Navy is very versatile. It can go at almost anything that you have in your closet. So if you only have money enough for a navy tie, and you need a necktie, I suggest a navy tie, a silk navy tie or a grenadine navy tie. It is the Swiss Army knife of ties. Also, for your suit, I recommend a navy suit because, like I said, you can get a light blue shirt, wear it with khaki pants. You can get a white shirt, wear it with gray pants. You can get a pink shirt, wear it with either color pants. It is very, very versatile. So if you are on a budget, like most of us are, think smart when you start picking your pieces together. Think in your head what would go with it and buy the suits that are intermatchable. So it's what gives you more variety. Second suit, I would get a gray suit. Third suit, I would get a brown suit because the brown would go with the gray. People say, oh, ain't gonna match. But I've got an outfit where the brown jacket will go with a pair of gray slacks and a blue shirt. You have to have a tie to tie it in, and it will set it off just fine. I recommend dark navy shoes. Correction, dark brown shoes with that combination. A chocolate tie. When you get a brown suit, I mean a dark brown suit, chocolate in color, preferably. A chocolate jacket, a light blue shirt, gray slacks with a tie. We'll tie that together. Should have gray and brown in it, and dark brown shoes that will set off your outfit. Just trust me. You don't think it will, but it will look just perfectly fine. But those are the suits I would get in order. If I'm someone who doesn't have a suit and I want to try and get into the suit game, first start off with the navy, then you start off with the charcoal gray, then get you a chocolate brown. Those three suits, get your shirt. Never go wrong with a white shirt. Never go wrong with a light blue shirt. Now I say a pink shirt Steve Harvey says a cream shirt, but I prefer pink. Pink is very versatile when wearing with the right clothes. Like I said, these are just some of the few things I want to start off on this first channel. I don't want to get too deep, but we're going to go on this journey together. If you have any kind of questions, any comments, any particular things that you want to talk about in another segment, I will definitely talk to you about it. But like I said, this is my first segment, my first show about talking about this. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just someone who's been doing this for a while, someone who has grown, someone who has evolved. And now I'm going to a different evolution in my dress wear, and I just want to share information with you all, and hope that some of you may like, some of you may not like, but pick and choose what you like and make your own style. But I'm telling you, dressing up, man, gives you confidence. Looks good. Like I said, you only get one chance to make that first impression. So if you go into a job interview, you go into a college trying to get some money and some grants, and you're trying to get into that college, impress the person that you're going to try to see. Make them think that you want the job. Look the part. Look like you want the job. And the best way you can do that is getting you a nice suit. I tell everybody who I talk to young people, man, if you're trying to go for a job interview, if you want to really set yourself ahead of other people, dress nice. Every man and every woman, but every man particularly, should have a nice suit, a nice dress suit that in their closet. So when they got to go to that wedding, they got to go to that interview, they got to go to that social event, they have something to go to. And the best thing you can fall on to, man, best thing you have, the Swiss Army knife of suits and ties is a navy tie, a navy suit. They they are timeless, they're classic, they won't go out of style. So until the next time, please tune in to Dapper Danny's Presents tips, guides in this direction to wearing a suit, wearing the outfits. I hope that we can definitely take this journey together and enjoy each other's company and spark a conversation. So until then, take it easy, man. Peace.
Dapper Dan, this tutorial king. Fashion flows where your senses swim. Patterns pop, your styles command. The world's in awe of Dapper Dan. Hustle roots to the heights you flew. You made old styles feel fresh and new. A rebel's edge, yet a classic plan. Forever sharp, you're Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan, this tutorial king. Fashion flows where your senses swim. Patterns pop, your styles command. The world's in awe of